Here is a 2023 Toyota Prius XLE in cutting edge with soft tech black interior. 60% more power for the 5th generation with the new TNGA platform that's borrowed from the Toyota Corolla Cross. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to explain all of the reconfiguration for the 5th gen from the exterior, showing you the reworked interior, and like always, taking it for our drive. The LE will be 5.6 inches of clearance. The XLE in limited will be at 6 inches. Bi-LED headlamps is standard, projector, low and high beam, and LED daytime runnings. This is for the XLE. The lower gets the gloss black that goes into the fog lamp assembly, front parking sensors, keeping a traditional Japanese heritage but a sophisticated, sporty exterior approach. This is 3 seconds faster than the prior gen at 7.2 seconds, which it used to be 9.6 seconds. When you're thinking of how fast this is for a Prius, that's crazy. Nearly 200 horsepower. You've got 194 horsepower out of the 2.0 liter hybrid i4, and you can get up to 196 horsepower if you option the all-wheel drive. 15% better battery capacity than the prior gen, so you're getting a lot more, whether it's your MPGs, 0 to 60s, or performance. Overhang for the front at 38.3, 52 MPGs for the city, 52 MPGs for the highway. Paired with the eCVT transmission, the LE will get wheel covers. When you get into the XLE or the limited, 19-inch multi-spoke alloy wheels. The front and rear disc are going to be larger than the prior gen, 2 inches lower roof, which helps with a lower center of gravity, and it also changes the front seat position because of the new integrated platform, so it's going to feel a little bit more dynamic. You will sit more downwards. Easter eggs are going to be found throughout the vehicles. Hybrid reborn underneath the hood, right in front of the windscreen. Prius on the side windshield. The Prius on the back windshield. When you open up the tailgate, which Ford has been implementing with the Bronco and some of their variants, and I like that we're seeing it with the rebirth of this 5th gen. The gloss black is going to be surrounding the fenders, and they flare out. So it just stresses performance, which they've never done that with the Prius. 181 inches long, just a touch over 3,160 pounds curb weight for the XLE. The rear overhang at 34.4. And the hatchback design keeps that 80s segment with the LED light bar that dips into the bumper, gloss black on the lower trim, reverse parking sensors, and a reverse camera. With the gloss black on the lower, grille pattern over the light bar, so it gives that sporty style even into the rear, and it just brushes off without any spoiler lip. It's going to be a wider opening. It's going to sit up a bit because it's a hatchback. Going to lose 3.5 cubic feet of storage compared to the 20.2 cubic feet. Underneath, you're going to have some storage containers. Split fold the rear bench at a 40-60 split, maxing cargo to 91.2 cubic feet. Standard will be cloth seats and 6-way manual adjustment. XLE gets 10-way power seat adjustment, heated front seats, 6-way manual adjustment with the soft tech black interior. The new Prius headroom starts at 38 inches for the front occupants, legroom at 43.2 inches. It's a wider interior because of the new platform, so that gives optimal space for the front occupants. The biggest update for the Prius is the 7-inch gauge cluster for the driver. No more just one screen. This one has the 8-inch touchscreen with navigation. We now can go through an array of information for the driver that sits right above the steering wheel with a circular dashboard integrating into the aluminum look with the ambient lighting going into your push button start, standard climate control, 8-inch with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM streaming Bluetooth audio, Wi-Fi hotspot, standard 6-speaker setup with available 8 speakers. Put it into reverse with reverse lines, but they do not move whenever you move the steering wheel. USB ports, 12 volts, storage container, and this is the funny part, hidden storage, which it's also called hidden compartment. But I like that they're throwing these little Easter eggs around. The key fob for the new Prius, we're going to take it out so you can see it. Gloss black will surround the center cluster with a QI wireless charger that is standard. We have different driving modes that you can toggle through. You have custom, which you can change the layout, sport, normal, or eco. And you can do EV mode. And pushback is going to be soft materials where you rest your arms, opening up into 2 more USB ports and a deep storage pocket. It's long, just not so wide. 3-spoke redesigned steering wheel, multi-function, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist. It's going to look like an airplane, but it is so cool and retro-fitted. The stocks and the door panels configure into the dashboard, keeping that retro design. It's going to be more everyday materials up top, software it needs to be, one touch up and down for the front windows, and a medium storage pocket that you can fit a beverage. Back seats, 36.4 inches of headroom, legroom at 34.8 inches. At 6 foot or higher, you're not going to have any issues sitting in the back seat of this hatchback. 2 USB ports, storage behind the passenger seat, and the door panel configures the same way with soft materials where it needs to be and a beverage holder. The floor is not completely flat, so you will be sharing some feet space. The rails are pushed up enough so you can move around a little bit more freely. Butt space is going to be shared as well as shoulder space, and headroom for the center occupants a little bit more cramped than it is on the sides. 194 horsepower, 60% more power. And some dynamics. Up to 196 horsepower. You're gonna hear the engine. That's going to be natural, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. 7.2 seconds, 0 to 60 from the around 9.6 to 9.8 seconds. It's over 3 seconds faster than the prior gen. That's crazy. It feels wider, feels more athletic. The new platform setup, because you do sit lower, feels a bit more sporty too. Interior, you have loads of space. I like the gauge cluster because now you can just focus on your driving. The center cluster was just too much towards the windscreen in the prior gens, and I mean, it's not a Tesla. Let's make it a car. Let's make it a little bit more fun and hip. 80s derived styling from the interior and exterior. I think they did a good job, but that will take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with my pros, we finally got the increased power that the Prius needed. And when I say that, this is not a hip car, but now it can be. The next thing that I like about the vehicle is because it is a hatchback, you still have nearly 100 cubic feet of storage. Yes, it's going to be less than the prior gen, but you have to take all the positives. They didn't go to the slope roof line design. They kept their design and just added the new platform. That's why the roof is lowered and more sleek and more wide of a stance for the vehicle. Another positive is the ground clearance is 6 inches when you go into the XLE, plus all the standard amenities you get with the XLE. Heated front seats, power seat adjustment for the driver. I don't like that we do not receive power seat adjustment for the passenger. Optional 12.3 inch touchscreen, and you actually get rims instead of hubcaps for your wheels. Fitting 3 adults in the back, my dimensions, is doable. And yes, the last generation was a little bit better in headroom and legroom, but this one's wider, so it gives a little bit more of a comfortable sit for the back seat occupants. Turn radius at a stop point is going to receive about 2 lanes. Give her a go. Some cons about the vehicle: the sound deadening isn't as airtight as I would like it to be when you get up to higher speeds. Normally when you're at lower speeds, it's pretty quiet. You will hear the engine engaging a little bit more so, especially depending on how you push the gas pedal. And the adaptive cruise control and keep assist is good. The safety upgrades is a lot better than the prior gen. It still has a lot of harder materials pretty much surrounding the whole cabin, even where you're resting your arms. So for a long journey, it's not gonna be as comfortable. You will be adjusting. The steering wheel is very soft. The seats are comfortable. They're pretty wide for the most part. They don't necessarily contour you like a sport seat, but this is more for a Prius and a daily use. There isn't a lot of cup holders or storage throughout the interior. Even the center, it's cleaned up, and we do get a hidden storage bin, but the storage that's back here, if you're short, it's really back here. So for me, being tall, it's okay. But even in the door pocket, it does have a little bit less storage capacity than it should for an everyday hybrid vehicle. The Prius likes to be engaged more in the EV, which is also a great thing, because when you're in the new Honda Accord hybrid, you'll hear the engine a lot more so than this. And I mean, Toyota's known for their hybrid technology. The suspension setup is comfortable, so for a long journey is good. The steering is light. You will have some more blind spots in the prior gen. The windscreen is going to be the same structure, so you still get those little windows in the front, which throughout my reviews, I always say the Prius windows, and that's derived so you can see more visually through the front because the A-pillars are chunky. And it definitely does have a little bit more of an athletic feel to it. Putting this side to side to the Honda Accord, I think this is going to be a little bit more of a sweet spot, especially because you can still option features, whereas when you get to the Accord, you have to go up tiers in order to get features. You get standard wireless charging pad here, standard 8-inch screen with the optional 12.3 inch, and you also have, hey Toyota,
what do you want to do?
Turn on the AC.
Turning on AC.
It's going to be a little bit more noisy in this than the new Accord. The seats are very comfortable in this. The redesign for the Honda Accord are good. They're a little bit longer and wider. But for an everyday, the soft tech is definitely the way to go. The XLE is a sweet spot because you get those standard amenities in which you will not get on the LE. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the merchandise website, Instagram, leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Stadium Toyota for giving us the all-new 2023 Toyota Prius XLE for our car review.